on behalf of Carrie, Hayden, and Haley, I want to welcome everybody here to Riverside Country Club. Thank you so much for coming out. Clearly, these are not necessarily the terms we all want to get together, but with all the faces we see here and the show of support for Tommy, it shows the special type of person he really was. For me, Tommy was somebody that I met my very first day out here, actually. I was out here with Jeremy Duncan, who was in the back, and we got paired up with these two random guys. And it was Tommy and David Thorne, if he's around here somewhere. And I never met him a day in my life. And inside of 4 hours, we had killed birdie bubbles, even though we didn't birdie that many holes. And smoked a lot of cigars. We become good buddies, and I felt like Tommy was somebody that I'd known for years and years and years. And that was just the type of person he was. You know, it didn't matter, you know, if you knew him for 5 minutes or if you'd known him for 15 or 20 years. He always had that smile on his face. He was always welcoming. And I know one of the statistics he's always most proud of is that he was batting 1,000. Anybody that played golf with him out here joined the club. And that was something that he told everybody every time he went out. And if the pro shop tried to send somebody else out with prospective members, he'd actually get mad because he knew that if he went out with them, they would end up joining the club. But I really want to turn this over to the person that knows Tommy best and allow Carrie to tell us a little bit about their journey. And I want you guys to really give her the love and support she deserves. Thank you, Carrie. Come on.
I'm not gonna look at it. I won't get through this. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you to everybody who's here today. We have enjoyed feeling so surrounded by love. Most everybody has their favorite story about Tom. We've asked everybody to take a minute to fill out one of the note cards to share those stories. Many people have their story of how they first met him, and that probably brings a smile to your face. I thought I'd tell how I met Tom. Some of you were there. I'm gonna apologize to my mom. Just know we ended up married. So a little history for anyone who didn't know me before I met Tom. It was not uncommon for me to show up at work on any given shift, claiming to have met a really nice guy. And it has long been joked about by my close friends. So Sunday of Labor Day weekend, 2001, I headed out with two of my friends, Brittany and Betsy, and we ended up at Kells. And Kells was the place to be back then. We liked it so much we had our wedding there. It was packed. We scored a table. And after a while, Brittany and Betsy went down to the basement to smoke. So I was holding down the table myself. Annoyingly, the guy I dated in college, I was almost 24 now, saw me and came and sat down. I had to decide, do I walk away and lose our table or figure out how to shake this up? So I looked around and I locked eyes with Tom. He was sitting a couple tables over. And I mouthed the words, "Please help me." And it worked. He waved me to come over. So I went and sat down with him and his best friend, Justin. And Tom, I would find out, had recently moved here from Iowa. And I said, oh, cool. I was raised a Hawkeye. And I'm pretty sure in that moment he fell in love with me. So when it was last call, and this nice guy from Iowa told me he knew a place we could go. So we walked outside, and me thinking that we'd go across the street, which we did, but it was to his car. Now, I had seen enough episodes of Dateline to know this was not a great idea. But they were really nice guys from Iowa. So away we went. I was in the back seat. And then he got on the freeway. Not gonna lie, but so I leaned in between the seats and I said, whatever you do, please don't leave me dead in the ditch. Leave me anywhere but dead in the ditch. And I think we all laughed. So we ended up in the space room, which for local people was really hard to pronounce. It's on 50th and 50-something. And it was still open, except that one of us was too tipsy to get in. It was not Tom or myself. And I remember thinking, okay, maybe you should just take me back to my car. And he said, okay, yeah, we'll take Justin home. And then I'll drive you back to your car. So Justin went a few blocks down on Hawthorne and we gently left him on his porch. Sorry, Jenny. And we started driving, I thought, back downtown. Crossed across Hawthorne and we ended up over on 50th and Belmont. And he said, well, this is my place. Do you want to meet my dog? I said, okay, but then you have to take me back to my car. So a little bit later, we're back in the car, we're heading back downtown, we get to my car. And not wanting to say goodbye, I said, well, my place. Seems safe. He was a really nice guy. A little bit later, kissed him goodbye on my porch. He said that, I'll call you. Parting ways, right? He waited 4 hours to call me. Run out again that night. Oh. From that moment forward, we were basically inseparable. Because I called in sick to work for a week. But I worked night shift, and he worked 9 to 5, and that was not working. I had this guy I had to get to know. And then 9/11 happened. I was at work at a bank. And he was the first person I called. We'd known each other 9 days. By the next weekend, he met all my friends, and I met all of his. A couple weeks later, I'll never forget, we were driving in the car. We were on 23rd Burnside, going to meet friends for the night. He was driving and talking. he busts out that he had always told his friends that when he found the one, that he would just know. And I cluelessly responded, "That'll be a really lucky girl." And he looked at me and he said, "It's you, you idiot." 2 weeks later, I took him home to meet my parents for my birthday. And a couple weeks after that, he moved in with me and my roommate, Jason. He was like, "You look at the dude." I said, "It's Jason." "No, you don't." With Tom, there was just never any games. What you saw was what you got. And he was always and forever a really nice guy from Iowa. Oh.
I think all of us in this room can agree to those sentiments. And Tom is one of those people that was just a really nice guy. You know, he was somebody that anytime you saw him or met him, he just brought this glow to the room, and he was always just excited. I was just chatting with some people back, and I don't think we ever saw him mad. You know, he may throw out a little MF once in a while, but I don't think he was never actually mad. You know, and that was one of the things that, you know, since he played roughly 7,000 rounds of golf a year, he was the heart and soul of this club because he literally knew everyone's name. He'd even know their kids, he'd know who they were. And it was so much more than just a guy you play golf with. He really was the lifeblood of what this club is. And with that being said, we do have a couple of members that unfortunately were not able to be here. So I'm going to play you guys a quick video because they did want to say something about Thomas. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Mark Adams, president of Riverside Country Club, or former president of Riverside Country Club. I wanted to just say how much I love Tom, and that it also explain why we're not here today. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm there because I know Tommy loved golf, and Tom would have, I'm sure would have said, "Mark, go play golf, go play in a tournament." So I am in Scottsdale playing in a tournament, and again, this is just to say how much I love Tom. When I heard about Tom passing, it was just like when I heard about my brother had passed, same feeling. So I will miss Tom. I miss going to Bandon with Tom. Tom and I went to Bandon so many times. I bet Tom and I went to Bandon 30 or 40 times together. I will miss sharing a room with Tom, waking up next to Tom, talking, going to play golf, coming back, lying about our stories, lying about our golf game. Yeah, I mean, there won't be a time that I will be able to go to Bandon or even step onto Riverside without thinking about Tom. I will think about Tom every day, just like I do my own brother. So, Tommy, I love you, man. I can't wait someday to see you again. I love your brother. See you soon.
Hi, my name's Stan Whitco. I'm the director of golf here at Riverside. Wish I could be at Riverside right now with everyone. Down in Arizona playing golf with a bunch of other members and other friends of Tom's who I'm sure would also like to be at Riverside as well. But I know if he's up there watching this, he's probably happy that we're out playing golf right now and not, I think he would just rather that we're playing golf as friends together, because that's what Tom was all about. When I was trying to come up with this one singular story to talk about Tom and explain who he was here at Riverside and what he meant, there wasn't one story that did it. You know, I have a few hundred pictures of, you know, me and Tom playing golf, Bandon here, I don't know, a dozen other courses. I was going through them, and it brought back 1,000 different stories, and half of them probably wouldn't be okay for this room to hear. And the other half just really made me think about being able to see him every day and how lucky we were that he came into Riverside 6 days a week, and I knew I'd get to see that smile 6 days a week. I mean, he was the life of this club for a long time. He was a lot of things that he wanted everyone else to be, which was just enjoy your time out here, enjoy your time with your friends, and don't take the small stuff too seriously, because, I mean, yeah, just enjoy it while you're here. And I think any individual story I have about Tom will just make me tear up a little bit, and I don't want to do that in front of you all, but I'm just going to miss his smile every day. It was comforting knowing I was going to get to see him every day. And yeah, just already missed the guy, and I hope that everyone remembers what he brought to this place and keeps that kind of spirit alive. So, you know, if you're listening, Tom, we love you and miss you.
So I know with Tom, obviously Riverside was a huge part of his life and a huge part of his world. But two of the things that he always talked about were, one, he was always talking about the Hawkeyes. He and I always agreed that no one likes Duck fans. And in addition to that, he always talked about his work, and he talked about how it gave him the flexibility to be out here, you know, as many days as he was, and how they always treated him so well, and how it really was another important part of his life. And I want to bring up Bruce Shelby, who was his sales manager for going on 20 years. You know, Tom had been there for a long time and is a huge part. So I want to let Bruce step up and give his side.
Yeah, indeed. Tom was a huge part of our company. One of the things when I think about Tom at Continuant, and actually I was thinking this morning when I put this sweater on, I was just imagining Tom, and you know, Tom could wear the heck out of the sweater. He was a powerfully built man that just looked great in a sweater, so I thought I'm wearing a sweater. I was Tom's sales manager at Continuant for nearly 20 years, and Tom came to Continuant on December 2nd of 2002. So if there's any part of this that I'm going to get choked up about, it'll be to say that 2 days ago would have been Tom's 20th anniversary with our company. People in Tom's generation don't work for the same company 20 years very often, so it's a huge blessing. I want to start with a thank you. Tom, as I said, was a huge part of our company, and I have Carrie to thank for that. I don't know if Carrie will remember this story, but in 2002, we were struggling. We had just come through, as Carrie mentioned, 9/11, bad recession, and our company was just barely in. So we knew we needed to add a couple salespeople. So we set up an interview with Tom. So Tom showed up at our office in Tigard, got out of his car. It was so bad that he got back in his car and drove away, and I don't blame him. And he called Carrie from his car and said, "Yeah, I'm not interviewing with those guys. That place is just a rat hole." And Carrie said, "Oh, Tom, you know, go back, give him a chance." And here we are 20 years later. Tom liked to tell a story about those early days of that horrible office we had in Tigard. We were so strapped that sometimes we didn't have all the office supplies we needed. And so Tom used to tell a story about going to the men's room one of his first days on the job. Of course, the men's room hadn't been cleaned in forever. And on top of the empty toilet paper holder thing, there was a stack of coffee filters. Tom tells that story better than I do. Tom made an immediate impact on the company You know, we survived obviously, and even had some success along the way. And Tom was a really important part of that. We've got about 300 people at Continuant, and I can honestly tell you that 300 people love Tom. I personally made trips with Tom all over the place. We went to Chicago, Atlanta, San Antonio, on and on. One of the trips I'll always remember is we needed to go see Whirlpool in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And we flew to Chicago, and that was as far as we could get because there was a blizzard. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not going to drive in this weather. But, you know, Tom, being the Midwestern guy that he was good at it. So I remember white knuckling it between O'Hare and Benton Harbor, Michigan with Tom at the wheel. So next week, we get together as a company in December, and we award people in our company that excelled over the course of the last year, company awards. Any of our salespeople that sell $1 million in gross profit have historically gotten a plaque. Tom's got many of them. This coming week, I'll be giving an award to Dennis, John, Brenda, Sandy, and Joseph, all of which will have hit this $1 million mark. We are going to rename the award. Brought one with me. I'm going to call this the Tom Powers 2022 $1 Million Award. Thank you. I just, you know, I'm here representing 300 people at Continuum, and we love Tom. We miss Tom painfully, and it was just a huge blessing having him a part of our company over the last 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. So one of the other things that I'm not sure that everyone here knew about Tom is that outside of just playing golf, he loved organizing golf trips, and he even enjoyed caddying. And he had one special little pupil that he went on a lot of trips with and tracked around with all over many different golf courses. And to tell those stories, I want to bring up Dan Snowy.
That's again lower mic this time. Silly. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dan Snowy. I was a member of Riverside for 7 years prior to returning to school as a 31-year-old. It's been awesome. To anyone who has the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Just before I get started, I had the opportunity. I was here over break for Thanksgiving with my family, and got to sit down with Carrie, tell some stories, just to kind of talk about things. And the first thing I realized, I've never heard about Tom ever getting on an airplane since I've known him. So we always got in the car and drove to Bannon, we went to Bend, we did all these things, and I go, Carrie, like, just realized Tom never goes on an airplane. She goes, he hates flying. I'm like, wow, okay. So thinking of all this, thinking of all the great memories we have, I prepared a little statement. I'm going to try not to make eye contact with a lot of you because I'll probably start crying, but I just want to share some special stories about Tom. So just kind of kicking things off, just want to thank everybody for being here today. Obviously, we're all here for the same reasons. Tom was very special to a lot of us. So spent a lot of time thinking about these memories and stories, and the things I want to share about Tom. And the first thing I did was scour every electronic device I had to see what photos I had, because some of the memories, at best, were a bit fuzzy. As I started going through these, I realized there's not one photo I got of Tom that he wasn't smiling ear to ear. And to be honest with you, I don't know that there was ever a day that I saw Tom that he wasn't smiling, joking, or laughing. Man was one of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. And the memories we made, I will forever hold dear to me. When I sat down last week with Carrie, I began to share these photos with her, and she goes, I don't know how you got Tom to take so many photos. He hates taking photos. Well, to tell you the truth, he didn't have a goddamn choice. You know, it's pretty hard here looking through these photos. And, you know, I wish I'd picked up the phone a few more times as I left here because, you know, I spent so much time with Tom. And I just didn't feel like I needed to pick up the phone a lot of days because I could just go on my phone and I had photos everywhere of Tom. So let me rewind a bit to how I met Tom and tell you about some of these special trips that we enjoyed together. After graduating from UP and gaining lifelong friends, many of you know Mike and Jake, and I just said, hey, I want to join a local club. Jake had been a member here for a long time here at Riverside, and as the slogan goes, it's the friendliest club in town. So, growing up in Camas, I basically wanted to join a place that I could play golf regularly with guys. So I signed up for a prospective round, and much like Aaron, I got paired with Tommy and Joel. From the very first tee, we hit it off, enjoyed a great 18 holes on a cold December day, much like today. Once I decided to join, this became my regular group for years. We got to know each other a little better each day, and with us being in sales, we got to spend a lot of time together. Our working hours became 5 a.m. to 1 p.m., and some days a little earlier, just to make sure we could squeeze in 18 holes. Riverside didn't just become a place I played golf, but it became a family. Some of my best friends to this day are right here in Portland at this club. The more we hung out, the more things we started to do away from the club together. It began with pro-ams, evolved with trips to Bandon and Bend for events like the Mirathon and the Fall Tour. Now, although we played a lot of golf together, something that remains dearest to me is Tom's willingness to be a valued spectator in some of my life achievements. Having put competitive golf aside for many years, the first opportunity to caddy for me in an event, Tom raised his hand. We shared an amazing round together. We shared a lot of amazing rounds together, whether that be a club championship or he told me not to hit driver on 18 with a 1-stroke lead. I'm sure a lot of you know how that turned out. To caddying at the Roy, the Mid-Am, and then the ultimate time at the Oregon Am, where we were going to the finals. I think we may have drank Portland Golf Club out of Coors Light that week, but the bond we formed and the conversations we were able to have over those 6 days created a bond that made us inseparable over the course of our relationship. While golf was a big part of our relationship, and the trips we took, meeting Carrie and his 2 wonderful girls, Hayden and Haley, was one of my favorite days with Tom. I'll never forget when Tom asked me to join him and his family on a trip to Bend, where I got to essentially spend time a week with the whole family. This was when I really discovered who Tom was as a person. Even though he loved golf more than anyone I've ever met, he loved his family even more. Upon returning from that trip, it became regular trips to the Riverside pool playing with the kids as they grew up. Family dinners I got to join in on and even trusting to help them with refinancing their home. The Powers became my family, and Carrie and the girls were always a special place in my heart. It brings me great pain to know that Tom won't be able to attend another sporting event, see a high school graduation, send his girls off to college, or walk them down the aisle. And most of all, I just wanted to see the look on a brave young man's face who was going to ask for his daughter's hand in marriage. But I know if they had the balls to do it, Tom would have welcomed them into the family as one of his own, because that's what he did. Tom was a very simple man if you got to know him. He loved his families, the Hawkeyes, golf, and his friends. I'll never forget him inviting me to Tom's Pizza for a Saturday morning Hawkeye game with him and Carrie. That's when I learned of his love of sports. A true fan, some might say. He lived and breathed Midwest sports teams. I'll most remember celebrating one evening after the Cubs won the World Series. You couldn't wipe the smile off his face for a month. I think he talked about it every day for a month straight. I could go on and on about the stories and adventures I've had with Tom over the course of the last 7 years, but I want to leave you with the greatest thing that Tom gave me in life: friendship. Everyone's here today because we all consider Tom Powers a friend. The mayor of Riverside, a husband, a father to not only his girls, but his favorite pups, Wrigley and Bobby. I want to leave you all with one parting thought, one of Tom's most underrated qualities. During our early years, Tom used to always leave the men's bar for his locker or the bathroom. And I thought he was coming back for one more roll of that dice buck. I mean, I wanted one more chance to get my money back, but almost every time he got up and gave us his Tommy exit. In the same manner, for all those years at Riverside, he gave us all one more Irish exit like he did on that November morning. It's a move that as I've gotten older, realized I see myself using smoking and a lot more, especially with the younger kids. It's truly setting for me today being here on multiple occasions since your passing, walking through the men's bar and not seeing you posted up on your favorite corner spot with the big smile on your face and a cocktail in hand. I'll miss the chance to give you a big hug and ask how the girls are doing, but I know you're looking down on us today and realizing how many people you impacted through your kindness, free spirit, and selflessness. Everyone gathered here today is because the man you were during your time with us. I love you, and I hope you're enjoying us, sipping on a bourbon, smoking that cigar, putting too many holes in your shirts, and playing your favorite 18 holes. And I can't wait till we can do that together again.
I think a lot of us in this room can picture ourselves in those same situations, minus the talent that Dan has and actually is better golfer. Where Tommy's coming around, smoking a cigar, you see his cart driving from 4 holes over to come over and give you a little sip of bourbon. And he's always just been that spirit that wanted to make sure that everybody was having a good time. And so for me, it's going to be one of those things where I'm always going to be looking for him out there. And that's going to be the hardest thing, is not seeing him driving from 3 fairways over to come over, say hello, and drive back. I don't know if Vince is here or not, but I think that golf cart might have been the worst thing for all of us at Riverside. But it was his favorite thing in the world. But I want to thank, once again, everybody for coming out. We do have a slideshow here just to walk through Tommy's life. And I'm hoping that many of you can stick around, tell stories, talk about the adventures that you had with Tommy, and we can have a good time here at Riverside after this. So we'll get the slideshow going and then we'll go forward.
After you fell out your chair, strawberries in your hair. After you fell off the face of the moon. Well, I thought I'd let you know, just in case you're listening, bro, what happened after you were gone. The band played on, the band played on. Well, you meant the world to me. You were all I'd ever need, my one true love until you were gone. But you left me here to rot, left me with all that I'm not, but what I found before too long. The band played on, the band played on. You were a hero and a friend. The whole world loved you to the end. They put a statue of you down in the square. And when I heard the news, you see, well, it really got to me. I even learned to play one of your songs while the band played on, the band played on.
What will I do when you're gone? Who's gonna tell me the truth? Who's gonna finish the stories I start the way you always do? When somebody knocks at the door, someone new walks in, I will smile and shake their hands, but you can't make old friends. You can't make old friends. Can't make old friends. It was me and you since way back when, but you can't make old friends.
How will I sing when you're gone? 'Cause it won't sound the same. Who'll join in on those harmony parts when I call your name?
You can't make old friends. Can't make old friends.
It was you and me since way back when.
But you can't make old friends. When St. Peter opens the gate
And you come walking in,
I'll be there just waiting for you.
'cause you can't make old friends.
'Cause you can't make old friends.
No.
If I could catch a star for you, I swear I'd steal them all tonight, to make your every wish come true, your every dream for all your life. But that's not how the story goes. The world is full of perfect plans. If there's a promise that I broke, I know one day you'll understand. When times are hard, I know you'll be strong. I'll be there in your heart, and you'll carry on like moonlight on the water and sunlight in the sky. Fathers and daughters never say goodbye. The angel I would read to sleep gave me one dream of my own. So learn to love and spread your wings, and find the world to call your home. When times are hard, I know you'll be strong. I'll be there in your heart, and you'll carry on like moonlight on the water and sunlight in the sky. Fathers and daughters never say goodbye. When times are hard, I know you'll be strong. I'll be there in your heart, and you'll carry on like moonlight on the water and sunlight in the sky. Fathers and daughters never say goodbye. Fathers and daughters never say goodbye.
rock the show. I lace the track, you lock the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day.
I wish I was a baby bear, sleeping in the brown winter grass in April while the sun was going down. I wish my shoes were empty and I was still in bed with you there beside me, with your dreams inside your head. I wish the world would do what I wanted to, and I wish the wind would blow me back to you. Well, I wish your mom was ugly and your dad was ugly too. Then they couldn't have had a girl to be as beautiful as you. I wish I was a tightrope walker with legs made out of gold, to hold you in my golden legs and never let you go. I wish the world would do what I wanted to, and I wish the wind would blow me back to you.
think we can all agree that if Tommy were sitting in this room right now, he would not want to see a bunch of tears. We want people to be smiling, telling stories, having a 10 grade tonic, and hanging out with friends. So we encourage you all to stick around. Food will be coming out here shortly. Grab yourself a drink, and let's celebrate Tommy.